5:45 this morning, emergency services were called to Brighton Beach to concerns for the welfare of a person in the water. Very sadly, a short while after, bodies of 3 women were recovered from the sea near Madeira Drive.
Just had a statement, Mary, in the last few minutes from a nightclub along the coast here, about a mile or so up from where I'm standing. It says the nightclub's called Quarters. It says they are confirming that they're supporting police with their investigation. It says, we are aware of an incident that took place on Brighton Beach on Tuesday night. Alongside all other local businesses and venues, we're supporting the police in their inquiries.
They've been on a night out. Their dad Joseph released a statement. He said, no words can truly describe the pain of losing 3 daughters in the primes of their life. I'll say it again. When black families lose their daughters, the national spotlight rarely shows them the same volume. There's less coverage, less urgency, and less public pressure. And that matters, because when a case goes wide, leads emerge and answers come faster. Silence delays justice. And look at that pattern. Similar circumstances repeatedly, but families left waiting. A media cycle that moves on before the names are even confirmed.
Three women whose bodies were discovered in the sea near Brighton have been identified by Sussex police as sisters Jane Aditoro, 36, Christina Walter, 32, and Rebecca Walter, 31. The bodies were recovered just before 6 in the morning on May 13th near the Black Rock parking area along Madeira Drive. Police said the sisters were from the Uxbridge area of London and confirmed that, while investigations are ongoing, there is currently no evidence of criminality or third-party involvement. Detectives are continuing to review camera footage, speak with local businesses and residents, and trace the sisters' final movements. Authorities are also asking anyone with information to come forward. According to online reports, the sisters spent the evening at a club before deciding to walk along the beach or possibly enter the water, something many locals reportedly do after a night out in Brighton. However, many people have pointed out that certain areas of the beach can be dangerous even during the day, making nighttime conditions potentially even riskier. It remains unclear whether foul play or alcohol contributed to their deaths. In a heartbreaking tribute shared through Sussex police, the sisters' father Joseph said, "Today, with a heart full of sorrow and love, I pay tribute to my beloved daughters, Jane, Christina, and Becky, whose lives ended so tragically far too soon," adding that no words can truly describe the pain of losing 3 daughters in the prime of their lives. He described his daughters as my joy, my strength, and the beautiful light that filled our family with happiness and love, and said each woman was unique and precious in her own way. Your smiles brightened dark days, your laughter brought comfort, and your presence made life more meaningful. Your strength and loving spirit will never be forgotten. Christina, your kindness and beautiful heart touched so many lives. Becky, your warmth and joyful soul brought happiness wherever you went. He concluded, "Rest peacefully, my precious daughters. Jane, Christina, and Becky, you may be gone from our sight, but never from our hearts. Forever loved, forever missed, forever remembered." Chief Superintendent Adam Hayes said the tragedy has deeply affected both the local community and people across the country, adding that police remain committed to uncovering exactly what led to the sisters' deaths while asking the public to respect the family's privacy during this difficult time. Investigators are now thought to be exploring the possibility that at least one of the sisters waded in too deep and lost her footing when the shingle dropped away beneath her. Coast Guards believe the women may have been swept away from the shoreline after tumbling off the coastal shelf. Brighton locals say the seabed plunges sharply, just a short distance from the beach, making it perilous to wade out too far. Regular warnings are issued to visitors, urging extra caution, particularly around the Palace Pier area, where the shingle is at its steepest.
The police have made clear that they're not looking for anyone else in connection with the deaths. The weather was bad here this morning, and the sea off the Sussex coast can be particularly dangerous at this time of year. When the emergency services got here this morning, it had only been light for around half an hour or so. The spring tides here in Brighton are always big, and at around the time this incident unfolded, the current would have been at its strongest. At this swimming club in Brighton, they run courses on sea swimming and getting to know the dangers particular to this town's shoreline.
It's quite a steep beach, and so there can be really sudden drops if you're not sort of aware of that. You're going to find yourself underwater really, really quickly. Also, just the impact of cold water. So people don't understand about cold water shock and the impact that that can have. Right now, in May, that sea's about 10 degrees. That's really, really cold, and that can have a really serious impact on your body.
The Coast Guard completed their search this afternoon. The police say they're reviewing CCTV footage gathered along the seafront in their investigation into what happened here in the hours before dawn. Their immediate task, though, to find out who the victims of this tragedy were.
Although the deaths of the three sisters have received limited mainstream media attention, the case has sparked intense discussion across social media, where many people believe there are still too many unanswered questions. How could three sisters all lose their lives at the same time and later be found in the ocean? Some are questioning whether foul play may have been involved, while others wonder if it was a tragic accident that unfolded in seconds. In a city like London, in an area like Brighton, where surveillance cameras are everywhere, many find it difficult to believe there is no footage that could shed light on the sisters' final moments, unless investigators are intentionally withholding details to protect the integrity of the case. Others have speculated whether one sister may have initially been in distress in the water, prompting the others to jump in to help, creating a heartbreaking domino effect. At this stage, there are far more questions than answers, and the sudden loss of 3 lives has left many people shaken. Most heartbreaking of all is the unimaginable pain their father now faces after losing all 3 of his daughters in an instant. As the investigation continues, many hope more information will eventually come to light and that the family will receive the answers and closure they deserve. Rest in peace to these beautiful women.
So these 3 sisters who passed away in Brighton and were pulled from the Brighton seafront over the weekend, the story's just not making sense to me. Like, now that the photos of the young ladies have been released, the story that they're painting, nah. Do you know how much of a slog it is to walk from the Brighton seafront down to the water? It is actually quite a slog. If you're wearing trainers, your feet are going to be hurting, and it's like the pebbles are always shifting. Like, it's a slog in trainers, let alone if you've just come off a night out and you're wearing heels. Why would they do that? Furthermore, they're trying to say that they've been swimming. Why were they swimming? And they were surprised by the steep drop. And Brighton does have a very steep drop. But the thing with Brighton Beach is the water and the waves break very heavily. So it's not the type of water not the type of beach or seafront that you can go down to and you're going to look at it and think that you can go frolic in the water. It's very clearly dangerous water. I don't understand. I don't know. The story that they're painting, it just doesn't make sense to me. It would make more sense if they said that, one of them got into distress and the other 2 tried to save her. But this story, it's just not making sense. I don't know. Honestly, my heart goes out to the family of the sisters because how sad. Just devastating, really. Like 3 of your beautiful daughters, your beautiful girls just gone just like that.